choice.
Alright guys, welcome to the finals of the Zotac Cup North America Series. $100 on the line, and you join us here today in Game 4 on Newkirk Precinct. Spawning here in the lower left corner of the map, playing for Quantic and spawning red, it is Hyun.
And his opponents. Down in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Player hailing from NRS, it is Underdark.
I'm wondering if these two have a bit of history with the way they've been chatting between games.
I don't think so. I think it's just late, and Underdark's just a little bit mad.
Yeah, I don't believe either of these players are from North America. Ironically enough, for the North American finals. Yeah, okay, Newkirk. The thing about Newkirk, Panda, this is a map, like, if you're gonna ask to have a macro game, I feel this is kind of like Metropolis. Like, it's set up in such a way that it encourages it. You got the split map, you got the two pylons, you got this huge air highway. It's hard to really sneak things around this map.
Yeah. It's just like, if a Terran is involved in a game on Newkirk, set aside yourself, like, an hour at least.
Oh yeah, I think the funniest game, I've spoken about this recently as well, Slavic versus Goody on this map. Before the game even started, he's like, alright guys, if you don't want to be 60 years old when this finishes, don't watch this game.
Literally, the old map of Goody Slavic games was Shakur's Plateau. Every time they got Shakur's Plateau, it would be like a mined out hour-and-a-half long game. Now, every single game they play on Newkirk Precinct, same exact thing. This map, I feel, it's like a bigger half version of Shakur's Plateau. Think about it for a second. You'll either agree or disagree with me, obviously, but I do think.
I think this map looks like a giant space invader, quite frankly. But Underdark actually almost picking off one of these drones. Oh, 5 health, almost getting it.
That is literally the first game I ever played.
I was gonna say, oh, I don't know. I was gonna say
game. Space Invaders.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say this is the. Oh, I thought you were gonna say this is the first time we see him lose a drone to Pro Harass.
Oh no.
I was gonna agree with that. And wow, he actually
two,
does. Man. No, he only
lost one. He only lost one. I thought that was the second one. Damn it.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of weird stuff is happening today that I've never seen happen to Hyun in the past. And you can credit a good chunk of it to it being Heart of the Swarm, but simple things like that, like a Pro Harass
and
on
not
the drone.
starting speed for the past like 20 seconds that he has had gas to.
He's had 100 gas, he can still do it. I think he's just going for the hatchery instead, which makes a little bit of sense, but still, this is a different type of Hyun.
Hyun!
Well, we got the Forge Fast expand coming out Underdark for like the first time ever, and I think that's going to pay...
Yeah, dude, it's an error. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
This is huge. Like, this is really, really big for a Zerg player. He invested a lot delaying that hatchery, especially because his opponent's Nexus is just finishing up now. He acknowledges this. He has no Overlord seeing it right now. Oh no, he's actually going for a double hatch. Never mind, Hyun, I love you.
Yeah, he's alright with this. I mean, it's one thing to just kind of do this blindly, but as you said, the Overlord hovering over top, he knows exactly what's going on, and making very methodical choices in order to make this work for him. Now, he's stopped gas production entirely in favor of getting the speed up, but still it has not been started, Panda.
Yeah. I do think it was for the Queen initially. Like, I keep chalking this up to other things. If it were me personally, I would have gotten speed before going for double hatch. Especially on this map, because a Protoss can really take advantage of the fact that you have a fair amount of distance to traverse, and there's a pretty... Like, whenever you have a ramp like this at your natural, it's very easy to force field. Just force field the bottom ramp.
Yeah, the pylon actually being placed in a really nice position here by Underdark, something that won't casually be scouted. Probe will not get into the main to scout anything, sadly, so he doesn't know what's going on with the gas at the time being, but still...
No, this is definitely an error. Like, Hyun thinks he has speed, and he doesn't.
That's what I was going to say. Like, he even sees these Zerglings he's got moving around the map. He has to know at this point. I mean, it's hard to tell, if you forget Thermal Lance and Colossus, it's not as noticeable, but when you're walking around with a slow Ling, like, there's no way you don't see that. But okay, getting away from the topic of speed for a second, Underdark setting himself up quite nicely for the first time. He's going to have a real nice economy boost. Hyun will start to catch up with this, and oh my gosh, Panda. Gotta stop what I'm saying, because I think someone in my house is baking fresh bread, and it smells so good.
That's pretty baller.
But okay, gas is now coming down at Hyun, continuing production, still no speed, and yeah, this is... like you said, I think
I can understand him actually going for a layer right now because I think he's going to go for like really fast three-base mutas. They're ridiculously good on this map. Due to the fact that you have very little distance to traverse via air to get to your opponent's base, but still not having speed will end up hurting him if he doesn't go for some sort of roach move speed after this instead of muta play.
well, a big problem is like if you scout that muta selection coming and you get some like just a couple phoenixes out. Phoenixes alone are pretty good, but if you upgrade them as well through the fleet beacon, they are straight up unstoppable. You can't deal with them as a Zerg player.
You might even say they're unstoppable.
I was going to, but I purposely stopped
I'll go
because I
there.
noticed our chat had beat me to it like 11 times by now.
I'll go there.
But roaches, a macro hatchery, and
Yeah.
maybe hydras instead will be coming out of Yun. So I guess it makes sense to skip
like
speed.
this.
Oh no, I already did start it.
When
Yes.
your opponent's on two base, it's hard to make mutas work. If he scouted a fast third base, mutas would almost like they're ridiculously good to the point where it's really silly not to go for them when you see a fast three base out of Protoss on Newkirk. But he's just playing defensive.
Well, Hyun going back to his roots. So far, at least, this is Roach's layer tech. We'll see where it goes from here. 4 hatcheries, going to give him a ton of larvae to work with, but here we go. Underdark making the first signs of aggression. A ton of zealots warping in, Panda, and there's just not enough to defend this.
Yeah, this is gonna be. It's gonna be hard to hold. I think he can eventually. He might need to sack the third in the process, but he will maintain his drone count, and his opponent isn't going for a third behind this. Robotics Bay is actually following this up, as well as a Stargate.
Oh, but he's just focusing down the third, and he's absolutely going to get this. Roaches are popping, but they can't save this.
Hyun acknowledging the fact he's like just gonna go ahead, mine every little last mineral he can before he goes ahead and sacrifices that.
Well, the Roaches will clean up the Zealots, especially on creep. Queen trying to get around. There's no creep here, sadly, but will Hyun go for a straight-up counter? I mean, like, he knows there's force fields. He knows there's a cannon down. You can't exactly just A-move your Roaches in a response to this.
Yeah, and he's double expanding behind this. Like, Hyun plays the I don't give a fuck style of Zerg. If you ever watch his games, like, he will, without a doubt, just go ahead and take his third base as natural whenever he sees a probe, like, anywhere near his main base. Double expanding now. Unfortunately, Zealot is actually attuned to this and attacking it. This will force his opponent's Roaches back, as he has absolutely no other attacking units on the field right now.
Speed has finally kicked in as well, so these Roaches will scurry on over a little bit quicker, but we see a Void Ray and an Immortal coming out, and those are two very good anti-Roach units, Panda.
Yeah, pretty good.
Thermal Lance as well, so looks like Underdark going to be going for that pretty typical Colossus / Immortal play. With some Void Rays peppered in too, I think he's going to be in a really nice position. I've seen players like Idra lose the ladder to this composition, just not even a little bit, I mean like a move and I went AFK types of loss.
Oh, there's a pretty fast hive coming down now for our Zerg player. I'm interested what this is. Generally,
It's got to be for Vipers. I mean,
yeah,
like, you're not going to
Generally,
be
we just
making Ultras.
really fast ultras on this map, but Vipers are definitely the.
If
I mean, if he was 4-base at this point, like actually mining fully saturated for a fair amount of time, ultras would be a good choice. But Vipers are
Right.
definitely the better choice for the way this game's gone thus far.
his third's not even saturated. If his third and fourth were saturated, Ultras would be a good call. But like you said, it's because he lost that base, he's a little further behind economically, it's not going to be easy to make them work. However, the option for that transition will always exist. But I gotta say, Vipers pulling into a whole bunch of Roaches and Hydras, it's just such a good thing. Like, there's no way that that doesn't work well. And what I've been seeing a lot of players incorporate are actually Swarm Hosts over Ultras to this composition, only swapping
Yeah.
over to Ultras if the game goes that late.
This is interesting. Thermal Lance has been completed at this point. Blink is now being researched. Hyun is reacting to Stargate play by pulling all of his units, even Queens from his natural, up to defend his main, but he's really actually producing a lot more Roaches than he really needs to at this point, because he can't break this. Like, the Protoss has the army. He has the army that Roaches cannot actually take. Enough cannons to defend this third base, and it's a very defensible position by a Protoss player, taking a third on this map. So he should really be, like, hardcore droning right now, hardcore getting a 5th base up. He already has his macro hatch down, just keep hitting his injects and waiting.
And chat said it best, there has to be for Yoinks, as we do have 4 Vipers about to pop.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I gotta say, Hyun is building the Evo Chambers here, and I like this. This isn't like any sort of positional defense. This is just for the farm. The Vipers will use the, what is it, not consume, whatever it's called, to, yeah, there we go, suck energy basically from the health of these Evo Chambers.
Yeah. Viper's the only unit in this game that can actually suck and be good.
Oh, Panda, it feels like I'm casting with Gary Oak. Is he actually gonna kill his Evo Chamber? What?
YOLO, man.
I've not seen anyone do that. Normally you just get them low and let them heal, but Hyun...
He's going for a timing right now. He's maxed. He's getting an Ultralisk Cavern behind this, and he just wants to have the best engagement possible because he's really banking on this, setting his Colossus count to 0. But, I mean, there are a couple High Templar on the field for feedbacks.
Well, the thing too about
Underdark knows
having...
this is going to happen.
You'll see a lot of players incorporate just one Ultralisk in this for that massive unit to break force fields, but not going to be the case here as the Ultra Cavern is still so far off. Baiting some force fields out though, not too bad. Viper's coming in slowly from the behind, but there's not a lot to deal with them. And waiting for it, waiting for it.
I like how many force fields he's...
Yoink!
Yeah. Yoink number 2. Oh, those Colossi die so fast.
Yeah, one second. Actually, even using it on the Immortals to bring it into the Roaches. And
Jesus.
with the Blinding Cloud underneath it, looking so good in this composition. A huge
so
concave.
one-sided.
That wasn't even... Yeah, that...
Like, oh my gosh, that's one of the most...
Oh, Blinding
one-sided
Clouding the cannons
I've
as
seen in
well.
this matchup.
I really like that choice, the Blinding Cloud the cannons. I mean, what else are you going to do? They're not going to move.
Yeah.
And this base is going to get shut down, but a fourth base is established for Underdark, and Hyun, he's got to send those Vipers home, but no, GG. Rats, says Underdark, and Hyun bring in his Zotac Reign of Tower back. $100 going to him as he wins the Zotac North American Finals. Well done.